Just about underway here. Ruiz wins the faceoff. Cade Weiner scoops it up. He'll head to the near boards. Carries into the zone. Drives wide. Run off the puck in the corner. Carney will force it off the far side. Weiner gives it back to Sammy Ruiz. Shot high and over the head of Barr. Played back to the blue line. Schultz has got it there. He'll fire it back in. Catches a weird bounce off the boards. And Mason City will clear the zone. Jensen Hill back to get it. Circles behind his own net. Knocked off the puck there. Nope, retains it now. Brings it up the far side. Tries to hit the home run pass up to Sheehy. Doesn't quite connect. Weiner carries it in his own shot. Goal! Cade Weiner with a beautiful shot to beat Jacob Barr. And the Saints are on the board 1-0. Just 40 seconds into the game. Sheehy set a nice pick on the blue line, created some room for him to slide in. Just wired a shot to the top of the net from the tops of the circles. So 40 seconds into the game, Saints 1 shot, 1 goal. We'll get Henkel, Sheehy, and Heacock out. Mason City wins the draw, fires it into the shin guards of Henkel. Down to the corner it goes. Savannah's back there to get it. Played up the cross half wall. Up to center ice. Henkel has it. Gets it back to Hill. He'll send it over to Zick. Zick up through the middle. Sheehy chips it over to Heacock. Heacock sends it down to the corner. Sheehy there to get it. Behind the back of the net. Back to Hill at the blue line. Shot. Saved by Barr. Savannah plays it around the far side. Mason City will bring it out of the zone. Heacock will knock it back in rudely. Now played out to center ice. Ben Zick's over there to get it. Chips it ahead to Henkel. He'll play it ahead just out of the reach of Randall. Now Michael Poles jumps into the action. Mason City counters and they'll go the other way. Zick back to Anders Hill. Anders works it up through the neutral zone. Dumped into the corner. Circles behind the net. Cervantes will back to get it. Up the half wall it comes. Eli Schwartz now. And Schultz picks it up at center ice. Fires it on the net. Hits Barr in the shoulder. Didn't know where it went. Pops straight up above him. Michael Poles pulls it off the boards. Mason City will take it the other way. Shut down by Schultz. Pulls back behind the net. Sends it cross ice. Anders Hill walks away from one. Gets it head to Randall. Can't quite hold on to it. Mason City will dump it back in behind Breen. Played up the near side now. We'll send cross ice over to Michael Poles. Mason City in control. They'll go D to D. Fired into the head of his teammate. Those are hard passes to catch. And off the head for icing. Even insult to injury. Saints look like they'll use the full bench today, sending the fourth line out now. We'll get Brock Smothers, Jack Fugger, Elliot Troush. Anders Hill, Ben Zick back on defense. Send it to the corner by Zick. Played around to the far side, back to Zick. He'll knock it back in again. Now it's Fugger battling for it in the corner. It's worked out all the way through center ice for an icing. So the face-off to come to the left of Barr. Smothers will belly up to the dot to take it. Puck's down. Knocked all the way back. Just held in by Cooper Smith. I'm not sure who that is. Jack Fugger. Jack Fugger now played off to the far side. Zick's got it across the red line. Sent into the zone. Back behind the end line it goes. Troush in there to press. He'll get it away. Now fed back to Zick at the blue line. Back down to the corner it goes. Wrapped around to the near side. It's Anders Hill now. Makes the play. Plays it ahead to Smothers. Smothers works back behind his own bench. Over to Anders Hill, who sends it up to Zick. Up to the middle. Cade Weiner chips it across. Taken away by Mason City. They'll counter the other way. That's Aiden Hitztemeyer. Sammy Ruiz plays it ahead to Weiner. Can't quite get it to Jensen Hill. Now Weiner through center ice, gets it over to Hill now. Back to the middle. Centering pass. Controlled by Mason City's D. They'll play it back to Landon Schultz. Schultz sends it over to Liam Henry. Back to Cade Weiner, head to Schultz. Schultz fires it down to the corner, wraps around behind the net. Cervantes has got it there. Big hit by Sammy Ruiz. Now squirts over to Jensen Hill. Shot goal. Jensen Hill finds a spot between Jacob Barr's legs. And the Saints are out to a 2-0 lead. So goals from Weiner and Hill. That first line's firing. And we'll get the second line out of Sheehy, Henkel, and Heacock. They'll be backed by Cooper Smith and Ben Zick. Sheehy into the faceoff, wins it back to Heacock. He'll drop off to Zick. Zick over to Smith. He'll wheel back towards his own end. Gives off to Zick. Zick hard up the boards, knocked down by Mason City. Now collected by Zick again. He'll work it up through center ice. Heacock and Sheehy can't quite hold on sides while Zick carries it up. So Sheehy up to the dot again. Face off won by Mason City, but controlled by Dubuque. Cooper Smith plays it ahead, just out of the reach of Sheehy. Down to the end boards it goes with Alex Henkel. Taken away by Sheehy in the corner. Sends it out to Henkel. Henkel runs a man off. It's knocked out to center ice. Alex back to get it. He'll go D to D over to Ben Zick. Zick up through the middle. Taken away by Mason City there. Now Zick over to Cooper Smith. Cooper a little too hot to handle for Jackson Heacock. Sent back over to Zick. Hard off the boards. Delayed offsides on Mason City. Cooper Smith behind the net. Xander Sheehy winds it up, leaves it there. Smith wheels back behind the net. He's going to get run off by Midland. Played ahead to Zick. Zick gets it up. Heacock gets a piece of it to avoid the icing. Eli Schwartz hard and fast into the corner. Played out to the far side, makes Mason City take a bad jump. Now it's Tyler Randall down behind the net. Throws it out in front. Schwartz can't quite capitalize. He'll work it around to the far side. Held in by Henry. Sent and blocked in front by Mason City, and they'll play it out to the far side. Hindemeister sneaks in the back door. Brains covers it up for a whistle. So 11:26 left in the first period. Saints hold the lead. 2-0. Puck's down. Mason City controls. Back behind the net it goes. Medlin fires it from the top of the blue line. Goes wide. Michael Poles can't quite get it out of the zone. Still held in by Mason City. They'll work it down the far side. Taken away by Schultz. He'll battle for it, tops of the circles. Now he'll get it out to center ice. Gets it ahead to Poles. Taken away by Mason City. They'll counter at center ice. Off the boards. They'll dump it in. Around the back behind Breen. It's Brock Smothers to pull it off the wall. It's taken away from him. Schultz backs him up. Tries to send it up the boards. Medlin there. Shot fired on Breen. Now out to center ice. Mason City dumps it back into the end wall. Schultz back behind the net with a little time. Excuse me. Smothers carries it up to neutral ice. Runs into some resistance there. Henry fires it in off the defense. Medlin back to get it at D. They'll play it out the far side. Mason City sets it up at center ice into the attacking zone, hits the brakes on the far side, and dumps it down below the goal line. Squirts out the near side. Elliot Trush to pick it up. Sends it down. Controlled by Mason City and fired into the Dubuque bench. Looks like we'll get Jensen Hill, Sammy Ruiz, and Cade Weiner back. Jensen Hill cheating in a little bit. Cheaters never win, Jensen. Flag football or indoor football play fails again. Mason City controls now in the defensive zone. Hard off the glass, held in by Sammy. Gets it down to Cade. Cade from the top of the circle. Drops off for Sammy. Shot high and wide over the bar. Anders Hill holds it at the blue line. Dumps it down low. Bieber takes a completely unnecessary hit. Shot fired and saved by Barr. Kick to the far corner. Zick sends it down to the corner. Now it's Sam Ruiz in the near corner. Sends it out front. Nobody home. Mason City ships it out to center ice. Now they'll knock it into the zone. I think it's Brady Bieber. I may keep calling him Justin. We'll see how it goes. Sammy Ruiz now on the far side. Kicks it up to Peacock. Peacock gets it ahead to Alex Henkel. He's knocked off the puck. Saying a lot. Battle along the near boards. Ruiz and Henkel there. Jackson on the far side. Takes the puck away. He'll wheel back behind the goal line. Hits the brakes and reverses direction. Plays it out to Zick. Zick ahead to Henkel. Henkel into the attacking zone. Crosses wide shot. Just wider than that and bar. Hard off the board. Knocked down by the ref. Controlled by Dubuque. Now sent the other way. Behind the Dubuque net. Breen will stop it there. Played out to Mason City. Just out of the reach of Xander Sheehy out to center ice. Dump back in. Blake Schrader back to get it. He'll circle back behind his net. Works up the near side. Gets it ahead to Landon Schultz. Just out of the reach of Henkel. That's off. So face off just outside the blue line. Tyler Randall will step into the dot. He's got Eli Shorts with him with Michael Poles. Puck's down, controlled by Dubuque, sent back to Blake Schrader. He'll collect it at the goal line and retreat behind his net. Plays it out the far side to Landon Schultz. Schultz off the board. Helped along by Randall. Sent back in by Mason City. That'll be an ice. And we'll get Jensen Hill, Cade Weiner, and Sammy Ruiz back out. Played all the way back to the defensive zone. Breen chips it off to the side to Anders Hill. Liam Hendry sends it back over to Anders. Anders tees it up for Cade. Cade, long pass into Mason City skates. Taken away. Liam Henry back through center ice. We'll dump it into the zone. Mason City cycles it out the far side. Liam Henry sends it back in. Mason City now counters back up through center ice. Alex Henkel makes a stop, chips it ahead. Played out to the other side. Liam Henry over to get it. Played ahead to Cade Weiner. Big hit on Cade. Cade works his way across the ice. It's knocked off his stick. Henkel continues to battle. Mason City will go back and go D to D. Played over in front of their own bench. Now sent in wide. Nice tip just at the blue line to avoid the icing. Liam Henry cycles it back. Saunders Hill behind his own net. Xander Sheehy comes to do a flyby. Hits the puck a little too hard, a little too fast. Has to knock it off the board. Tipped out in front. Goal. Mason City back on the board now, 2-1. Six minutes and 47 seconds left here in the first period. Xander Sheehy bellies up to the dot. Wins the faceoff, technically. Hudson Carney with the goal there for Mason City. Oh, takes it away at the blue line. Sent down to the corner. Sheehy battles for it there, plays it ahead to Henkel. Henkel off the boards, up to Jackson Heacock. Jackson works through center ice. It's knocked off the puck there. Mason City collects it. Hindermeister down the near side. Centering pass, knocked away by Ben Zick all the way below the goal line. Now it's the centering, back up to the top. Quentin Peterson fires it high over the net. Zick's got it below the goal line. Plays it ahead, off the ref. Set up to Breen, and he'll cover for a whistle. 6 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first period. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 7-4. So some jockeying for position as we'll get Sammy Ruiz out for the faceoff. Puck's down, controlled by Mason City, knocked away by Cade Weiner. That might not be the guy you want on the breakaway. Yeah, that's why. Cade Weiner with a beautiful end-to-end breakaway goal to beat Barr. And it's 3-1 now with 5:55 left in the first. And that's apparently enough work for that line as we'll get Randall, Poles, and Schwartz out. Randall wins the faceoff over to Eli Schwartz. He'll play it back to Blake Schrader. Blake over to Landon Schultz. Set up the far side. Michael Poles tips it ahead. Fired into the ref again. That's the 5th time I've seen him get hit in 10 minutes. That guy better be wearing pads. Eli Schwartz now. Up through the middle, a little speed. Centering pass just out of the reach of Michael Poles. Sent back in the near side. Justin Bieber cross-ice pass. Big hit there by Landon Schultz. Picked up by Randall. He'll cycle the ball around. Chips ahead just out of the reach of Eli Schwartz. Michael Poles can't make it a poke check. It's played across ice over to Landon Schultz. Schultz has got it there. They're walking down Main Street. Slashed rudely. Another ref takes a hit. These guys, hope we're using the sponge pucks today. Liam Henry, long pass ahead. Alex Henkel battles for it on the red line. Oh, he knocks it away. Tries to get it ahead to Sheehy. Can't quite get it. Knocks it loose, though. Heacock shot. Oh, off the bar. Mason City the other way, back through center ice. Heacock and Sheehy back check like rabid dogs. Behind the net, Schultz plays it out to the near side. That might have been Andersill. Shot, saved by Breen. Anders plays it off the pipe. Not the safest play, but worked. Now Jackson Heacock on the far boards. It's pinned up against the wall in the corner. Still battled for a loose puck there. Heacock takes a wicked slash. Set on net. Breen chips it behind the net. Now out in front. Heacock's got it there. Gets it over to Sheehy. Sheehy tries to get it back to Henkel, who bailed on the play and was going for a change. Mason City controls in their own zone. Long cross-ice pass to Hindermeyer. Taken away by Weiner. Sammy Ruiz sends it deep. Around to the near boards. Mason City carries it out to neutral ice. In the attacking zone. Shot saved by Breen. Left in the slot. Collected by Jensen Hill. And he'll go the other way. Gets it ahead to Weiner. Weiner across the blue line. High slot area. Tries to chip around one. It's taken away. And Mason City back the other way with Cade furiously back checking to get the puck back. Sent along the end wall. Tried to chip it over to Cooper Smith. Couldn't quite handle it. Now it's sent through the middle. Mason City at the blue line. Another shot. Wide of the net. Rebound. Kicked out to center ice. Saved by Breen. Mason City tries to dump it in. It's blocked in front by Eli Schwartz. Nice block. Now Mason City dumps it down to the end line. Breen gets just enough of it to slow it down for Zick. Zick behind the goal. Sent out to the far side. Tyler Randall plays peekaboo with the ref. Michael Poles dances through the legs up in front. Now back to Poles. Poles tries to get it over to Schwartz. Taken away by Mason City. Justin Bieber. Shot. High and wide. Wrapped around. Played back behind the goal line. Smith has it there. Sends it over to Poles. Poles pulls it off the boards. Then Zick knocks a man off the puck. It's Cooper Smith. Around the near side over to Eli Schwartz. Schwartz plays it out to neutral ice. Michael Poles chases it down and forces the long cross ice pass. Medlin, who's got about 2 feet on Poles, spins away from him. Now Sheehy at the red line. Dumps it in. Henkel will go to get it. Goal by Alex Henkel. The slump is broken. Sheehy with a nice pass over to Henkel. Henkel dug it out of the corner. Put it by Barr. Oh, that's not Barr. That's Edelman. Has it been Edelman the whole game? And my computer just died, so the world may never know. Puck's down. Henkel's got it. Alexander Henkel. No assist on the play. They'll go D to D. Schultz has it. Works it across the blue line. Sends it into the zone. It's gloved down by Mason City. They'll try and play it back out and are successful. Flubs the pass at the red line. Taken away by Sheehy, and he'll wind it up the other way. Can't quite get it by Peterson. Justin Bieber into the attacking zone. Landon Schultz behind the net. Wrapped around hard to the far side. Jackson Heacock tries to get it ahead to Sheehy. He'll pressure him down into the corner. Now sent out to the near side. Schultz is there. Pulls it off the boards. Backhands it back down low. Heacock digs for it in the corner. Played back up the near boards. Henkel's got it there. Walks out to the front. Nice shot. Save! Loose in front of Edelman. Pushy, pushy, woo-woo. I heard someone say shit defending my boys. It might have been Jocelyn. Might have been blue-collar Henkel. It's hard to tell. So we'll get Sammy Ruiz out with 57.8 seconds left. Ruiz out there with Hill and Weiner. Duke wins the faceoff, gets it over to Zick. Zick tries to send it through the middle. It's knocked down. Weiner plays it back to Anders Hill. Pass jumps over Cade's stick. Played out to center ice where Zick corrals it there. He'll play it over to Anders. Anders long cross ice pass taken away by Mason City, but quickly reclaimed by Cade Weiner. Mason City now some nice moves. They'll get it out of the zone after they hit the ref again. 7th time today. Weiner's got it in front of his own bench. Chips it ahead to Hill. Hill tries to get it to Sammy Ruiz, who was just a half step behind. Played ahead. Passed everyone the length of the ice. No icing. Breen stops it on the end wall. Raptor on the near side. Anders Hill struggles to get it out of the corner. Now he fires it up. Sammy Ruiz can't get it out of his gear. Hudson Carney battles in the corner for Mason City. That'll do it on the first period. So after one, the Saints will lead 4-1. Mason City controls. Back to Peterson. They'll play it up the near boards ahead to Byer. Byer's shot blocked by Liam Henry. Bouncing puck to the slot. Now it's collected by Weiner. He'll try and play it over to Jensen Hill. Held in by Mason City. Schultz can't quite get it out of the zone. It's dumped back into the corner. That's Schultz down there. Oh, it's Liam Henry. Couldn't quite get it out. Fired back in by Mason City. Delayed offsides. Schultz a little time to collect it on the goal line. Breaks up the far side. Wheels back. Taken away by Mason City behind the net. Tried to be sent out in front. Knocked away by Liam Henry. Cade Weiner drops down. Picks it up. He'll bring it ahead. That's not Cade Weiner. That's Ryder Schultz. It's a 2. It gets confusing. Sent on net. Just off the post. Now it comes back. Alex Henkel on the far near boards. Tries to get on one. Comes all the way back to Ben Zick in his defensive zone. He'll retreat back behind his own net. Fire there to press the issue a little bit. Henkel's on the far side. Heacock on the near. Now Zick brings it out. He'll work it right through center ice in the attacking zone. Down to the corner. Henkel tries to take it away. It's gloved down by Mason City. They'll work it back out the far side. Cooper Smith does a flyby. Back out to the Mason City blue line. Shot kicked in front by Smith. Dangerous play. Now worked around to the near boards. Mason City fires it down to the corner. Jumps over a stick. It goes behind the net. Smith plays it ahead to Henkel. Just out of his reach. Medlin will grab it. Sends it just past Sheehy. Back to Smith. Smith plays it over to Zick. Head to Sheehy. Taken away at the blue line. Mason City the other way. Down to the goal line. Played back to the corner. Sheehy picks it up behind the net. Ducks out away from one. Long cross-ice pass over to Henkel. Henkel across the blue line. It's knocked off his stick into the corner. He's the first to get it behind the net, though. Played over to Jackson Heacock. He'll bat it down to Henkel again. Behind the net. Hintermeister wraps it around. Henry can't quite hold it at the blue line, and we're back to center ice. In the defensive zone, Anders Hill has it there. He'll work it to the far side. Played ahead to Eli Schwartz. Eli from the tops of the circle. Walked around one. Behind the net. Loses it there. Mason City collects. They'll fire it out the far side. Knocked away by Hill. Back up through center ice. Tyler Randall chases it all the way back. Loose puck collected by Anders. Fed to the Mason City bench where Michael Poles is. Plays ahead to Tyler Randall. Down the near boards. Fed back out to center ice. It's Randall there. Sends it on net. Tipped by Cervantes. Medlin in the corner. They go behind the net. Run off the puck there. Michael Poles now applies a little forecheck. Send out the far side. Gets by everyone. Back to Anders Hill. He'll play across to Liam Henry. Henry sends it into the zone. Far corner. Poles the first one to get it there. Sammy Ruiz shot wide of the net. Carams over to the Dubuque bench. Landon Schultz dumps it down low. Fresh legs over the boards. It's Cade Weiner in the corner. Spins away. Into the slot. Fires high and wide of the nets. Hintermeister's pass is knocked down by Sammy Ruiz. He'll drop off for Cade. They'll try and run him off the puck. Good luck with that. Sammy Ruiz, nice shot. Saved by Edelman. Thrown back out in front. Loose puck. Again, fired wide by Ruiz. Mason City tries to play it out. Weiner plays spoiler. Now it's Jensen Hill. Now knocked back to center ice. Blake Schrader's got it there. Plays it over to Hill. Hill ahead. Cade Weiner battles Medlin in the corner. Spins away. Sammy Ruiz tries to feed over to Jensen Hill. He's got it now. Played down the board. Bouncing puck collected by Weiner. Knocked loose by Hill. Weiner's got it there. Tries to dance around one. Taken away. Mason City will send it the length of the ice for an icing call. So with 12:06 left in the first period, second period, Saints still hold a 4-1 lead. We get the Midwest line of Sheehy, Henkel, and Heacock out with Schultz and Schrader. Sheehy into the faceoff. He's got Heacock in the shooter spot. Won by Mason City. They'll play it back to Schultz. Schultz sends it towards the net. It's blocked in front by Mason City's defense. They'll bring it into the attacking zone. Tries for a centering pass. It's knocked away. Now battled by Jackson Heacock in the corner. Fed up to the blue line. Sheehy can't get around Hansen. Played back behind the net. Landon Schultz works out the far side. Backhands it ahead. Hits the ref again. Sent in, caught by Breen. Dropped off for Schrader. Mason City's wise to this behind the net play. And Blake Schrader takes the smack to the head for it. Played all the way up ahead. Henkel knocks it into the zone. Peterson back to get it. Played to the corner. Hit Jackson Heacock in the mommy and daddy parts. Heacock now forces it down the side. Knocked back out to center ice by Mason City. It's taken away there by Schultz. Schultz dumps it into the zone. Into the corner it goes. He's the first to get it there. Sends it out in front, and Edelman makes the save. 10:53 left in the second period. Shots on goal favor the Saints. 14-9. We'll get Eli Schwartz, Tyler Randall, Michael Poles out. They're backed by Ben Zick and Cooper Smith. Puck's down, controlled by Mason City. Cervantes back to get it behind the net. Plays it up the far boards. They chip it around Cooper Smith. Tyler Randall back to help out. Wall papered into the corner. Bouncing puck on Breen. He holds on for the whistle. Didn't hit record. So the puck wasn't being tracked there at all. I hope my play-by-play was very insightful. Damn it. Back to the blue line. 7 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Laid down to the corner. Pauls has got it there. He's running up the board, or puck hard. Mason City now the other way. Myers got it. Fires it on Breen. Loose in the slot. Collected by Randall. He'll play it ahead to Michael Pauls. Can't quite get there. Mason City battles for it center ice. Randall ties up a man. Now it's dumped in by Pauls. Now I see the cameras moving. I feel like so much less of a jackass. Cooper Smith battles on the boards. Yeah, and the net it goes to Ben Zick. Zick's got it there. Plays it to Weiner. Back to Zick. Zick thought about a cross-ice pass over to Sammy Ruiz. Jensen Hill works it in. Kid Weiner all on the slot. Nice save by Edelman. Jensen Hill's got it there. Weiner's shot blocked by Edelman. Kick back to Weiner now on the far boards. They'll send it across to Liam Henry. Liam Henry from the blue line gets it down low to Jensen Hill. Back to Henry. Henry sends it back behind the net. Weiner picks it up there. Drops off Sammy Ruiz. They'll walk it back out to the blue line. Played down low. Tried for the one-timer to Jensen Hill. Mason City clears back out to center ice. Liam Henry fires it in on Jocelyn. Jackson Heacock stops it right outside the blue line. He'll carry it back in. He's got Henkel on the far side. Shot, rebound out to Sheehy. Saved by Edelman. Another big save by Edelman. Mason City will take it the other way. Knocked down by Heacock at center ice. Hard off the boards ahead to Henkel. Can't quite catch it. No icing. Xander Sheehy's going to be the first to get it behind the net. Works it to the corner. He's got Heacock in front. Couldn't quite connect. Played back out to the middle where Anders Hill will control. Plays it off the boards. Controlled by Mason City. It'll kick back to Ben Zick. Glove down by Mason City at the blue line. They'll send it into their own zone, into their own bench. 8:11 left in the second period. Again, I apologize for being a complete bonehead the first 7 minutes of this period. I hope my words painted a kind picture. We get Tyler Randall, Michael Poles, Eli Schwartz out. Blake Schrader and Landon Schultz back on defense. Schrader's got it now. Plays ahead Schwartz. Schwartz knocks it into the zone. Lane Hansen back there to get it. He'll try and fire it off the far boards. Taken away by Schultz. Now out to center ice. Schrader plays it off to. It's going to come to me here. Schultz. Schrader ahead to Poles. Poles ahead to Randall. Randall into the zone. 1-on-5. No fear in that kid. Now to the other corner. Kick back to Michael Poles. He'll get it back to Landon Schultz at the blue line. Dumped on net. Bouncing puck. Comes out to the glove side of Edelman. And Ruiz fires into the Mason City attacker. It's knocked out to center ice. All the way below the goal line it goes. Blake Schrader back to get it. He'll work out the near side. He doesn't want to go that way. He wants to go out the far side. Plays it ahead. Big blast. Saved by Trevor Breen. Weiner's there. Spins away from one on the blue or on the boards. Gets it ahead to Hill. Back to Weiner. Weiner full head of steam across the blue line. Mason City controls and sends it to length. On net for Trevor Breen, though. Blake Schrader now behind the net. Plays it out to the near boards. A little too hot and heavy. Mason City will chump it up into the net for a whistle. So with 6:42 left in the second period, Saints ahead 4-1. Shots on goal favor the Saints, 19-13. We'll get Heacock, Sheehy, and Henkel. Henkel already with a goal today and a beautiful shot. Puck's down. Sheehy wins it to the far side. Beats Medlin to it. And now we'll get a face-off in the zone. So Sheehy to the dot. He's going to try and win it to Smith. Smith will drop it off to Henkel. Just like that. Sent down into the ref skates. Sheehy behind the net. Left there for Henkel. Sends out in front, bouncing puck. Kicked out by Peacock, and then Medlin wants to get physical. Sheehy again to the dot. Back to Henkel again. Henkel shot, hit Sheehy in front. Oh, tried for the swinging one-timer. Couldn't connect. Benzik collects it just outside the blue line. Plays it ahead, but Mason City counters. They're coming the other way. Into Meister, saved by Breen. Taken away by Zick in the corner. Played out to the blue line. Mason City knocked it back in. Henkel now on the far side. Pass just outside. Oh, that's a bad call. Made it just outside the blue line. The ref said no, it didn't. What does he know? It's not like he's getting paid to be here. Sheehy all alone down on the goal line. Oh! Sheehy makes his way to the bench. Shot high and wide. Played ahead. Bouncing puck. Henkel's going to have to try and run it down. He's got Randall in the middle. Oh! Nice save by Jocelyn. Battle's on the corner now. 5 minutes left in the second. Peacock walks away with it. Up the half wall shot. Henkel tried to get a piece of it in front. Glove down by Heacock again. He'll walk it towards the middle. Shot high and wide. Chases his own rebound on the far boards. CDD pass over to Henry. Henry from the tops of the circles. Loose puck in front. Edelman with a nice save. Mason City will send it to the ice for an ice. We'll get Poles, Randall, and Eli Schwartz out. They're backed by Hill and Henry. Randall wins it back to Eli. Dumped down to the corner by Anders. Behind the net, Mason City sends it back around the boards. Knocked off the boards there by Mason City. Dumped down low by Randall. Collected by Mason City. They'll play it up the near side. Beaver gets just a piece of it to avoid the icing. Now it's Henry behind the net. Randall's got it. High off the glass, ahead to Schwartz. Schwartz dumps it in the zone. Randall and Poles chase behind the net. Split around the near side. And Henry takes the brunt of a hit. Kick back to the corner by Mason City. Now bouncing puck out to center ice. Dubuque knocks it back to the neutral zone. Sent ahead by Samuel Ruiz. Michael Poles steals it at the blue line. Sends ahead. Weiner picks it up, tops of the circle, gives the Ruiz. Back to Weiner. Bouncing puck into control. High shot. Gloved by Edelman. She'll hold for a whistle. 3:46 left in the second period. Samuel Ruiz in for the faceoff. Puck's down, controlled by Dubuque. Taken away by Mason City. They'll fight to get it out of the zone. Now Ruiz has got it. He'll dump it back into the far side. Back behind the net it goes. Medlin's there, slinging around the boards. Back to Blake Schrader at the blue line. It's locked in front. Schrader now from the tops of the slot. Loose puck bounces wide to Edelman. Held in by Schultz. Sent wide of the net. Jensen Hill will try to run it down. It's knocked out to center ice. Mason City, full head of steam. They'll take it down the far side. Bad angle shot. Green makes a save. Schultz gets away from one. They'll leave it for Samuel Ruiz behind the net. He'll send it along to the ice for an icing. Played ahead by Heacock. I think we'll try and run it down, but doesn't get there in time, and it's icing. So we'll do it again. Sheehy replaced on this line by Randall. He limped off after the last shift. Hopefully he's all right. Don't see him on the bench. Not a great sign. Mason City wins the faceoff back to the point. Dumped down below the net. Ben Zick's got it there. Now it's Smith behind the net. Jackson Heacock plays it ahead, just out of the reach of Alex Heacock, Henkel. Stolen by Heacock in the middle. Bouncing puck gets away from him. Mason City counters. Henkel knocks it into the zone. Heacock will try and run it down. Locked it on the far boards. They'll knock it to the corner, taken away by Mason City, and they'll squirt it back out to center ice. 2:21 left in the second period. Mason City now 2-on-1 the other way. Shot off the side of the net. Collected behind the net, though. Oh, terrible call. They're going to get Ben Zick for tripping. I think he just got the Mason City player got his feet together. I don't think Zick has any idea he's getting the tripping call, does he? He does. My bad. He appears back on the bench with putting his helmet on, so I'm sure he heard the chance penalty kill came up, and he pretty much lives for that crap. Hanson with the shot from the blue line, saved by Breen. 2 minutes left in the second period. We'll get Cade Weiner and Jensen Hill for the faceoff. Wood by Dubuque. Failed. Clearing attempt by Liam Henry. Mason City to take it back behind the net. Set up the power play now. Hansen at the top of the blue line. He'll play it off to the near side. Byers got it there. Back to Hansen. Hansen to the far side. Jumps over the stick of Hindemeister. Wrapped under the near boards. Byer holds it in there. Played down to the corner. I think that's Medlin. Back to Byer. Sent over to Hansen. Played over to Hindemeister. Sent through the middle. Bouncing puck is uncontrolled by Byer. Got it from the near boards. Weiner gets it out of the zone. No, held in. Battled in the corner. 1:26 left to play in the period. About a 13-second difference between the power play and the clock. Sent out in front. Jensen Hill's got it there. Glove down by Hansen. He'll play over to Byer. Top of the circle. Now back to Hansen. Hansen has to regroup at his own blue line. Plays it back. That's offsides. So with 52 seconds left, someone saw a duck on the ice. I heard him yelling. He denied the opportunity of the penalty kill. We'll get Heacock and Henkel. Sammy Ruiz and Anders Hill back on defense. Ruiz has it, plays over to Anders Hill. Anders sends it the length of the ice, no icing because of the penalty. Quentin Peterson back to pick it up. Jackson Heacock making life miserable for them. Now it's Henkel. All the way back. Cervantes carries it across the blue line. High slot. Poked away by Sammy Ruiz. He'll send it down. Edelman will stop it just in front of the goal line. Picked up by Peterson. Saints will force him to the near side. Loose puck collected by Anders Hill. Peterson wheels at his own blue line. Henkel rides him out the puck. Jackson Heacock's got it there. He'll play it to the Saints bench. Austin sends Alex after it hard. He knocks it away in the corner. Bouncing puck out to the far side. Weiner's there. Plays it back. And that'll do it on our second period. Shots on goal favor the Saints. 25-16. We've got a 4-1 score here in Mason City. Take a break, clean the ice. See you back in 15 to 20 minutes. Schultz and Henry back on D. Puck down. Played back to the defensive zone. Hill's got it there. Tries to play it up the boards. Knocked away. Now it's Henry behind the net. Drops off for Schultz. He'll bring it up the near side. Advances down the ice into the neutral zone. Across the blue line, he'll chip it in. Back behind the net. Weiner takes it away. Sends it out front. Sammy Ruiz can't quite hold on to it. Weiner keeps it in just on the blue line. Sends it back below the net. Jensen Hill gives it a flyby. Cycled down low again by Schultz. Ruiz behind the net. Around the top of the circles. Henry's got it all the way down to the corner. Drop pass. Out of the reach of Ruiz. Comes back out to neutral ice. He'll reset at his own blue line. Plays it ahead. Schultz directs it off the boards. Fired into the stands by Landon Schultz. Thrown back on the ice by the fans. Sheehy back on the ice. He's got Henkel and Heacock with him. Puck's down. Heacock's got it. Drives it into the zone. Played off the far boards. Out to neutral ice. Sheehy tips it straight up. Gloves it down. Takes it into the zone. 1-on-4. Heacock fires it down. Down there it goes. Lane Hansen back to get it. Sheehy to press. Spins away from one. Now Henkel to press. Spent out to the near corner. Sheehy battles for it there. It's knocked back to center ice. Anders Hill plays it over to Zick. Back to Hill. Back to Zick. Zick a little too hot to handle. Hard off the glass. Ahead to Heacock. Sent back into the zone. Jumps over the stick of Zick. Anders Hill will spin us up behind the net. Honors plays ahead to Alex Henkel. He'll drive wide. Comes in on the net. Shot. Edelman holds on for the save. We'll get polls. Randall and Schwartz out. Backed by Henry and Hill. Puck's down. Sent out to neutral ice by the Mohawks. They'll dump it in on net. Breen makes the save. He'll hold on for a whistle. So the face-off to come to the right of Breen. Puck's down. Dubuque will try and play it up the near side. Schwartz peels back to Schultz. Schultz walks it out the far side. Floats it ahead. It gets stuck in Tyler Randall's skates. Pulls all the way back to the corner. Big hit. Send out. Held just inside the blue line by Medlin. He'll send it down. Henry tries to dig it out of the corner. Randall will run off the board or puck hard. Head to Michael Poles. He'll advance it out to center ice. Knocked off the puck there by Medlin. This City will fight around the boards. Picked up by Ruiz just inside the blue line. Carries it down to the goal line. Tries to wrap. Can't quite get it to work. Spins all the way around to the far side. Hard pass is tipped away by Mason City. They'll head the other way. Taken back away by Jensen Hill. Terrible change by Mason City. Hill can't quite make him pay for it. Tries to drop pass. Nobody home. Pearson lays it off the glass. Anders Hill knocks it down at the red line. They'll advance it up. Shot on net. High and wide. Bouncing puck collected by Weiner behind the net. They'll work to the corner and then back behind the net. It's knocked away there. Hard off the glass now. Mason City to the far side. Hindemeister there. Takes it into the zone. Shot. Kicked up into the netting by Breen, and that'll get us a whistle. We've got Henkel and Sheehy jump up. They'll head out with Blake Schrader and Landon Schultz. 13-13 left in the third period. Saints still in a commanding 4-1 lead. Mason City wins the faceoff. They'll get it back to their blue line. Cross-ice pass isn't collected. Henkel tries to play it ahead. Now he's got it at the red line. Advances it into the attacking zone. Race to the far boards. Henkel battles for it there. Bouncing puck. Can't quite get it around. Sends it back behind the net. Quentin Peterson over to get it. Played it up ahead. That's Hindemeister. Shot. Saved by Breen. He'll hold on for the whistle. Sheehy into the dot. Mason City controls the faceoff. Henkel takes it away and drives it out to center ice. Pulled down there, no call. Get a player stick on the bench, and we'll get a reset just out in front of the Mason City bench. That triggers Strauss, Fugger, and Smothers. Haven't seen them since the first period. Welcome back, boys. Smothers in for the faceoff. Mason City wins, but clears the zone. That was a nice one. Thanks, guys. All the way back to the defensive zone. Smothers and Troush in pest mode. In full forecheck. Now it's advanced up the ice by Schrader. Into the zone. He'll send it towards the net. It's blocked there. Gets by Smothers. Comes back to Landon Schultz at the far defensive zone. He'll go back behind his own net. Tries to set up the play there. High off the glass. Jumping puck out to center ice. Elliot Truss tries to knock it into the zone and does. Half step offside was Brock Smothers. Sammy Ruiz into the faceoff, flanked by Jensen Hill, and indoor football play Cade Weiner doesn't work again. Ruiz from the high slot fires wide. Battle on the near boards, back to Anders Hill. His shot is tipped. Weiner picks it up. Shot goal. Cade Weiner puts it in. That'll get us to 5-1 now. Sammy Ruiz to the dot. Wins the faceoff back to Anders Hill. Broken stick there at the faceoff. Shot dumped in on Edelman. She kicks it to the corner. Weiner now works it beyond the net. Roughed up hard there. I foresee a penalty coming here shortly. Weiner behind the net. Plays it off to Ruiz. Back to the blue line. William Henry fires just wide of the net. Sammy Ruiz's rebound shot is blocked by Edelman. Fired off the boards. Ruiz holds it in. Chips it back off the boards. Gets the Weiner. Back to Ruiz. Shot. Saved by Edelman. He's wrong about the penalty. Sure felt like one coming. Sheehy, Henkel, and Heacock jump over the boards. They'll go against Mason City's top line of these guys. Medlin plays defense. Cervantes in for the faceoff. Held in by Henkel. Henkel still battles for it in the slot. Kicks out to the far side. Played ahead by Mason City, ahead of Ben Zick. Go the length of the ice. No ice. Zick cut to it just before it got across the line. Wrapped around. Still battle for on the boards. Zick's got it now, so it goes back behind his own net. They'll bring it up Main Street. Gives off to Sheehy. Sheehy kicks it off the boards ahead to Heacock. Sent back the other way. Zick controls. Plays over to Cooper Smith. Smith now out to neutral ice. Collected by Henkel. Henkel's got it there. Drops off for Schultz. Played over to Zick. Zick's pass is blocked. Cervantes tries to center. Cooper Smith knocks it down. Now back in the corner, Cervantes has it. Works behind the net, tries to throw it out in front. Nice defensive play there by Ben Zick, and it's Xander Sheehy up the far side. He's got Heacock with him. Works around. Tries to backhand loose in front. Still loose. Some hand passy there. Back to the blue line. Sheehy will go for a change. Heacock will go to forecheck. Long cross-ice pass. Landon Schultz there to cut it down. Runs into his man. A little extra hands thrown. There you go. Mason City getting the penalty here? It is. Kind of thought that was both ways, but what do I know? I talk in the internet. Dressed like a zebra at hockey rinks. So Dubuque said I think this is the first time the number one unit's been out. Sheehy, Ruiz, Hill, Henkel, and Weiner. 5 of the scary 6. Mason City wins the faceoff, and they'll send it to length. Green stops it there. Weiner winds it up behind the net. Leaves it there for Sheehy. Sheehy takes the wind speed of a coconut-laden swallow. Works it up through center ice, across the blue line. Gives it back to Jensen Hill, centering pass. Gets away from everyone. It goes to length. Sammy Ruiz is going to be chased by Aiden Hintermeyer the whole way. Still battle for it behind the net. Now Henkel comes back to help him out. Struggles to pull it off the board. Gives to Sammy. Sammy across the blue line. To the near side, top of the circles, drops off for Henkel. Henkel works it down low, throws it in front, nobody home. Weiner tries to charge in from the blue point. Now Mohawks 2-on-0 or 2-on-1 the other way. Carney gets it over, wide open man on the backside. Green helps him into the end boards. Medlin now back behind his own net on the penalty kill. Send out the far side. Mason City works it down. Backhand the catch by Landon Schultz. That was the luckiest catch we've seen all day. Mason City now pressures, throws him to the ice behind the net. Schultz has got it again, spins it out the far side. Gets around Justin Bieber. Crazy dance moves. Michael pulls now into the attacking zone. Drops off there for Schwartz. Schwartz dodges a hit. No one's sure what's going on here. Now it's over to Schultz. Played over to Anders Hill. Sent through the middle. Nobody home. Jackson Heacock from the blue line. 3 seconds on the power play. Sent through the crease. Nobody home. Anders Hill. Back to Schultz. Over to Heacock. Heacock high and wide. Off the boards. Mason City back the other way. Byers there. Jackson Heacock with a ferocious back check effort. Anders Hill now. Nice fake pass. Plays it high up the glass. Michael Poles sends it into the zone. Heacock still out there back checking like a man possessed. Loose puck gets away over to Landon Schultz. Tries to play it up through the middle. Mason City will go D to D. Played it out the far side. Mason City controls, dumps it into the zone. Ben Zick will be the first one to it on the far boards. Plays it ahead. Elliot Trausch knocks it towards the boards again. Just out of the reach of Jack Fugger. Trausch has it. Again, tries to play it out the boards. Meister spins away from one, but not before he dumps the puck in the net zone. Cooper Smith through the middle. Unconnected. Meister picks it up just outside the zone, dumps it back in. Cooper Smith behind the net. Almost ran into some trouble there. Fourth line struggling to get the puck out of the zone. Trausch has got it now. Tries to backhand it, can't quite handle it. Now bounces it up. Now it's the center ice finally. Mason City regroups in the neutral zone. Medlin will carry it in. Trausch throws all the weight he can into him. Knocks him off the puck. Sent to the wide side. Ben Zick's the first one there. Collects it at the red line and dumps it into the zone. Samuel Ruiz races Quentin Peterson. Peterson wins. Cade Weiner knocks it away. Back to the blue line. Weiner sends it back to his D. Henry over to Hill. Back over to Henry. Through the skates of Weiner into the Mason City defensive zone. They'll try and play it up the board. Samuel Ruiz picks it up there. Centering pass is blocked. Mason City collects it. They'll play it around the far side. Liam Henry's there to get it. Henry with a cross-ice pass over to Samuel Ruiz. Ruiz battles for it there. Gets it ahead to Weiner. Weiner into the defensive zone. Gets over to Samuel Ruiz. Shot on net. Saved by Edelman. Loose puck. Rebound. Controlled by Edelman. Still loose in front. Now played out. Anders Hill jumps over his stick. All the way back to the defensive zone. Green puts it on a tee. Anders Hill sets up behind his own net. We'll get Sheehy, Peacock, and Henkel out. Let it head to Henkel. Henkel tries to chip him over, Carney over on the boards. Gets enough of it to slow him down. Cervantes on the goal line. Shot blocked, saved by Green. Still loose into the far corner. Cervantes making life hell for the Saints. Now Sheehy up the middle. Plays it off the boards. Gets it around Peterson. Centering pass. Oh! Heacock couldn't finish it. Loose puck though. Henkel gets over to Heacock. Heacock wheels from the faceoff dot. Blasts someone in the back. Loose puck high over the net. Edelman grabs onto it, holds on for a whistle. 4:06 left in the third period. The Saints are 10 shots ahead of the Mohawks, 31-21. 5-1 here in Mason City. We'll get Poles, Randall, and Schwartz out there. Schrader and Schultz back on defense. Did I say Schwartz? You know who yours is. Back to Schwartz at the blue line. Shot, saved by Edelman. Sends it up through center ice. Landon Schultz back to get it. Hits the brace behind the net. Ducks away from one. Sends it back behind the net to Blake Schrader. Schrader a little time in the corner. He'll try and play at the boards. Ingermeister will steal it. Send it back down. Jordan Edelman now on the far corner. It's the goaltender's brother. Michael Poles up through center ice. Plays it ahead. Eli Schwartz. Nice catch by Schwartz. Tops of the circle. Nice toe drag. Puck knocked to the corner. Poles has got there. Cycles it back below him with Randall. Mason City wraps it around the near side. Blake Schrader, long cross-ice pass over to Landon Schultz. Schultz winds it up. Sends one hovering on the ice towards the net. Mason City now struggling to get it out. Collected by Schultz. He'll dump it back in again. Now it's Eli Trausch. Back behind the net. Puts it out in front. Oh, it's a good effort. That's what you want to see from that fourth line. Just keep the puck in their zone. Make them battle for it. So we'll get Elliott. I said Eli. Elliott Trausch. Jack Fugger and Brock Smothers with Cooper Smith and Ben Zick backing them up. Smothers in for the faceoff. Puck's down. Controlled by Mason City. They'll wrap it around behind the net. All the way the length of the ice. Very nicing. Let's do it all again. It was so much fun. Smothers in still in for the faceoff. He's got Elliott behind him in the shooter spot. Mason City wins the draw. They'll try and play it up the near boards this time. Elliott knocks it down behind the net. Now they'll go behind the net. All the way out to neutral ice. Cooper Smith back to get it. Behind the net they'll go. They'll go back. Smith has got it now. A little time to operate on the near side. Moving into the boards. Mason City will steal it. Played up Brock Smothers' skate. Shot wide of the net. Cooper Smith to pick it up. High off the glass. Bouncing puck at the blue line. Kicked back in by Medlin. Centering pass over the head of Ashby. Back to neutral ice. It's Peterson. Chipped away by Elliott Trausch, being the pest he is. That'll give us a whistle. And the first line jumps back on the ice. So 2:12 left in the third period. We'll get Jensen Hill, Sammy Ruiz, Cade Weiner. Backed by Liam Henry and Anders Hill. Saints cling to a 5-1 lead. Puck's down. Set through center ice. That'll be a nice one. Mason City looks like they're trying to run this quick, long stretch pass breakaway play. Hasn't worked much at all. Certainly not in the last 5 minutes. Sammy Ruiz to the dot. Controlled by Dubuque. William Henry just outside the zone. Dumps it back in. Mason City collects behind their own net. Played back behind. Now out to center ice. They'll play it to Liam. Liam ahead to Cade Weiner. A hot to handle. He'll go back to Henry. Henry D-to-D over to Anders Hill. Anders Hill up through center ice. Knocked down by Medlin. Cade Weiner spins him away. Loose puck. Anders sends it ahead. Sammy's got it. Takes it into the zone. Tries to play it ahead to Weiner. It's tipped by the D. Now Sammy wraps it behind the net. Jensen didn't see it coming. Squirts to the far side. William Henry kicks it down to Jensen Hill. Tops of the circles. It gets off his stick. Mason City will play up the length of the ice. For an ice. 1:11 left in the third and final period. The Saints up 5-1. Get Jackson Heacock, Alex Tinkle, and that Sheehy kid. Back on defense, we've got Landon Schultz and Blake Schrader. Puck's down, back behind the net. Henkel battles for it in the corner. Henkel's going to get a major penalty here. Henkel's going to get probably a 5, probably a game. Boarding on Alex. That's a 5-minute animus conduct. So someone will serve Alex's penalty for him. So it's going to be Michael Poles. Refs are talking to the Mason City coach here. And boarding's already a 5. They just gave him a 2-minute boarding.
Alexander Henkel. Board. Mohawks are on sports page.
So the serial killers, Jackson Heacock and Xander Sheehy, come out for 1:06 left on the penalty kill. Puck's down, Mason City controls. Back to the blue line, they'll work it on the near side. Oh, that looks like it snuck out, but the ref said it didn't. Sheehy blows the tires, slides to the corner. They'll work it over to the far side, now back to the middle. Blasted wide of the net. Mason City will send it back around the back. Landon Schultz will be the first to get it there. Mason City picks it up on the far boards. Bounces puck out to the blue line. Then Sheehy gets enough of it to block it. Now it's Landon Sheehy with a dive, and Sheehy knocks it loose. That's off. That's off, and Trevor's helmet might have an issue too. So 27 seconds left on this kill. Saints lead 5-1, ahead on shots, 33-21. 1:21 left on this Alex Henkel penalty. Green's got severe helmet problems. Jackson Heacock with his workmanlike attitude comes in and he'll get it fixed. See? Told you. We can make it work for another 27 seconds. Sheehy into the face-off. Wins it temporarily. Mason City gets it. Squirts out to center ice. Long dump in by Schultz. Jackson Heacock down to pressure the issue. Carney will carry it out the far side. 10 seconds left. Jackson Heacock says there are no 3 minutes in this game. Sheehy with a nice block. 4 seconds left on the play though. That'll do it here from Mason City. Cheap shot there at the end is probably going to go uncalled. Final score is 5-1. We'll be back tomorrow. We should be broadcasting a full JV and varsity game. We'll see you then. Well, they did give Fire a 2-minute minor there at the end. That'll do it for our stream. I'm Deb's son saying if you can find a rink, you can find a friend.